You know, being a Knight main, it's honestly surprising how I've saved, in my opinion, the most overpowered and controversial hero in this faction for last. I've already covered every other Knight, so to put the cherry on top, we gotta talk about God's gift to edgy teens who believe their parents are out to get them because they won't let them smoke at the age of 15. Black Pwoir was the first of the Year of the Harbinger set, or what I call the Year of the Jesus Christ we're making this game worse set. Each Harbinger brought to the table something the community disliked heavily. For Zanhu, it was their omnidirectional dodge attacks. For Hitakiri, bringing back the heavy on red meta Shikoki left behind, and Yorm brought the massive turtle meta. BP brought the worst change For Honor decided to keep. Let me bring you to a much simpler time where For Honor's offense had, what's the word? Oh yeah, risk. For Honor used to have such a good risk-reward factor, and it counted to the bashes the most. This was For Honor's formula for around 2 to 3 years of its gameplay loop until one fateful day. Come January 31st, 2019, Vortiger, or Black Pwoir as he would be named, released, and coming with him came the bash meta. There are more problems in BP's bash properties than my parents' marriage when I was 3 years old. This was one of the first bashes in the game to be completely unpunishable, and when I mean unpunishable, I truly mean it. The only way you could is if you fully predicted it and dodged on the first frames of the bash. Players were quick to tell everyone about this because to them it felt like actual workaround to the problem of this bash. So what did Ubisoft do in return? They made it so if you dodged early, you got caught by the bash.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
I have theories that the devs actually do not play this game and just look at Reddit, and this change made it so certain that I was just right about this. Alongside that issue came the Stam Bully BP meta. If some people don't know how the stamina system worked before, it was very different to what we have now. I explained in the Gladiator video in depth, so if you want to look at that, I'd go watch that one instead. But to sum it up, in today's game, if you fall over and get up, you will have full stamina no matter how much stamina you were at before. But back then, you had to fully regen the bar while you were out of stamina. Not only did regenning all this stamina take longer periods of time, but it was able to be paused, and yes, you guessed it, BP's bash had the most stam drain and stamina pause in the game. While heroes like Yorm capitalized on players being out of stamina, BP basically won the fight the moment you lost all of it. It would really be criminal to not talk about this part of BP's past, and yes, if you remember it, I remembered like it was yesterday as well. So Bulwark Flip had a really funny aspect where it could flip feats. Yeah, that sounds pretty stupid, and it was. Yeah, that sounds really stupid, and you're not wrong, it was. But for example, let me give you one. If you dropped a fucking catapult, aka a 400-pound burning rock, BP would literally defy reality and flip you no matter where you were on the map. It was hilarious, but everyone realized that it had to go because being immune to fourth feats was just really broken. And lastly, we really gotta talk about his recovery on his bashes. Now, in today's game, it's either the strongest it's ever been or the same that it's been before, so let's talk about it. Remember when For Honor added those funny little light dodge attacks to everyone, you know, Scent, Warlord, and BP? Yeah, that was Black Pwoir's fault. And the funny thing is that these dodge attacks don't even work against BP themselves. Whether it be chain forward dodge bash or just chain bash, it just doesn't work when you try to use it. So BP is a walking fuck you to counterattacks. Don't believe me? He can counter deflex. And no, not the way Hyper Armor counters them. He can literally flip deflex. So what some BPs do is just let themselves be deflected and then flip them like their parents flipped them down the stairs. Let's talk about flip some more, huh? Look, I get it. It is the most intriguing mechanic in the game, but it's just so fucking busted in certain scenarios.
When you do it.
I'm gay! I'm super gay! I'm gonna suck your cock!
Let's look at anyone with a charge bash. Warden, Scent, and Hitakiri, for examples. BP can dodge all of their level 1s and then flip their level 3 bash. This takes all the risk out of their bash mix-up and throws it out the fucking window sometimes. Even with Centurion's new buff to speed it up, it's not enough for BP's recovery time. And to continue with his Bulwark stance, we got to talk about its secondary property, and that is his neutral unblockable. Now, being a neutral unblockable in itself is strong, but not broken. No. The broken thing about it is that if a BP is a good player, they can just react to the guard break animation. And before I get all those comments saying, you're lying, he can't do that. Well, then explain how I'm doing it right here. No, seriously, I'm waiting. Email me a 5,000 word essay on why it's not possible and then I'm cheating or something. BP is just a whole stem of trouble and we've only focused on his moveset. Now, I rarely do this, but don't you worry, it's feat time. No, get those off the screen. I meant these ones. Oathbreaker, or as the devs call it, Funbreaker. Let me ask you something. What is the purpose of video games? Enjoyment? Fun? Relaxation? Whatever word you want to use. So as a development team of a video game, your main goal is to make sure that the game is fun. So please tell me, if the balance team labeled it Funbreaker, why has it not been nerfed?
So
This changes fucking nothing.
Fun breaker, basically a lot of the time, right?
Oh, but it did. If you call this a nerf, I'm going to walk to your house and shake your hand vigorously. This was not a nerf. And the icing on the cake was when JC said, just bait revenge.
You can bait revenge activation. There's a lot of stuff you can do. As
No, you fucking can't. What the fuck are you on about? You can bait revenge. No, I go like, ha! I go yellow, and then he goes, ha! Please, what the fuck are you smoking? Let's play devil's advocate and see what JC meant. So, if you want to play mind games, you can maybe emote and hope that the BP uses Oathbreaker when you do an animation. So, let me go to my controller and... Oh yeah, it's the same fucking button. And even if you were on mouse and keyboard, let me just not be stupid and wait for my opponent to glow yellow before using Oathbreaker on him. The whole mechanic around Oathbreaker is just not healthy at all. Ganking in today's state is really easy and hard to fuck up, but so you do fuck it up if you have a big deal with Oathbreaker. It's like one of those big erasers with big mistakes you always wanted as a kid, but never got. No, seriously, tell me, how can you go and botch a gank and then do this? Oh no, anyways. I have a full video script on how I would rework Oathbreaker from the ground up. So if you want to see that video, get this video to 1k likes. And while you're at it down there, hit that sub button. But at the end of the day, dude, I get it. BP is a super fun character when played. Bulwark stance is probably my favorite move in the entire game, but also my least favorite in the game. Him having all these defensive options like crushing counters on top of it is also just really fun to pull off because some actually take some skill like his top one. And his drip is honestly really hit or miss with the community. On one side, you have the Linkin Park enjoyers who go with the all-black edgelord BPs, you know, pairing it with cringy executions. On the other side, you have the people that actually try to make their BPs look good, but ultimately end up using Erzbet's Valor helmet or its variant and look like every other BP who swears they aren't edgy. And his executions 90% of the time are fantastic. The edgy ones, again, are a hard hit or miss for the community. Sometimes I use it, and sometimes if I use it more than once a match, I'm tired of it and I feel like a loser who needs to take a shower. I think the most important thing you take out of this video, though, is that if you enjoy playing BP, keep playing them, and if you don't like BP, then just remember, you just don't like the hero and not the people playing said hero. I think as a community, we really forget that and choose to attack each other for playing certain heroes. And yes, I hate Ocelotl, VG, and Shinobi all the same. Those characters can get me really heated, but at the end of the day, I have to remember that we're all just playing for fun, so we can pick whatever we want. As always, spread positivity and love and not negativity. I love you guys, and I hope you have a good day.